Well, we made it to the very rustic campground of Circleville RV Park and store. We've got the store off in the distance there. We'll be checking that out in a minute. That's it for right now. We'll be checking things out and sightseeing around in the next day or two. So that's it. See you in a bit. There is a wash house and a bathhouse and a laundry. So we've got that facility there. Some weird little yurt kind of a thing out there. A lot of empty sites, number of pull-throughs. We have a back end. There's a lot of room between people. So if you see there, you see the room between us and our neighbor, the Crusader. If someone does park here in number 2, it'll be a little tighter, but still a whole lot more room than we had before. Have not checked out the Wi-Fi. I'll report on that in a moment. They do have 50 amp and 30 amp service, but there's supposed to be good fishing around the corner. I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to or not, but I did bring fishing gear this year. So we're about 2 miles from Butch Cassidy's Boyhood home. We're going to be checking that out in the next day or two. We'll be here for 2 days. All right, beautiful day today. And it is cool. It's supposed to be cold tonight. In fact, there is no internet connection and no cell service. Holy cow, no cell service. Well, didn't expect that, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, hope the Wi-Fi works. No, we have an outing a little bit later today. We're going to be heading over to Butch Cassidy's Boyhood home. So that's Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, Hole in the Wall Gang and all that. Yep, we're going to be checking that out. But I want to talk a little bit more about this campground. Very rustic campground, but the more I look into it, very cool campground. Now, it is kind of seasonal, I'm guessing. Now, you can stay here all year round, but their general store is only open starting Memorial Day. I'm guessing through Labor Day maybe, because it opens Memorial Day. So just a few days from now when I'm shooting this, but it's not very full. I don't know if it gets busier during the summer. A lot of people with their ATVs come out here, but as you can see, it is pretty empty. And you got this really cool farmland in the background. Yeah, this is really kind of out in the middle of nowhere. There's like some horses over there. There's someone's home like right next door. Well, right next door, it's a ways away. But yeah, this is pretty cool. The town of Circleville is quite small. We're talking a block or so long. A number of the stores, I have a feeling, also open after Labor Day or this coming weekend, I'm guessing. There's not a lot to it. There's, I think, a cafe, a post office. There is a small grocery store, and it's a grocery store that pretty much has everything. It's your hardware store, grocery store, everything all combined into one. I found it funny, right next to some of the canned goods, there's a bin with all sorts of nails. So that's about it. So we're going to take a look around, and we'll be moving on tomorrow, but I just wanted to give one last update. Oh yes, Wi-Fi. How can I do a review of a park without talking about the Wi-Fi? They actually have 5G Wi-Fi, and Dawn's been streaming movies. She actually gets TV channels as well. So TV and streaming off the Fire Stick. I am actually, as we speak, uploading a video. It's not crazy fast, but it's sure not slow. It's definitely faster than St. George was. So yeah, we've 2 thumbs up on that as well. The Wi-Fi has been terrific here. Now, mind you, no cell service. We have AT&T. Now I understand Verizon works here, but AT&T is 0. So turn on Wi-Fi calling. We have been able to be connected to the outside world through Wi-Fi calling, but as soon as we drive off of this campground, we have no service in this area. So something to think about. Yes, there are some places where you don't get service. So we're going to get started on our outing in just a minute here, but for you it will be immediate. Well, we are at the site of Butch Cassidy's Boyhood home.
This is interesting. It's beautiful out here.
Oh, it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. think, as you stand here and look out, that all those years ago, a young Butch Cassidy, before he started his crime spree, this was his view, this was his life, this was where he was. Walk out that cabin, the work that they would do here on the farm. I have to admit, when I was a young boy and the movie Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid came out with Paul Newman and Robert Redford, I was hooked. I love that movie. I saw it so many times, I hate to admit it. Every time I went with another family member that wanted to see it, I was there with them. What a cool film. I've seen it quite a few times on video as well. I realize it's probably sensationalized, as a lot of Hollywood is. But what a fun story. What's that? No, I don't think so. Unless it's a double-seater. I think it was like a hay barn or something. And that's the guy who restored the place. Fred Hayes.
Well, if you look at the front information up here, it does show part of how his house looked. And it was surrounded by trees. So a lot of these trees were here, I'm sure, when Butch was a child here for the time. You could see the cabin, but it's a lot more secluded, a lot more trees around it.
Very cool stop. Let's take a look at that picture again. It's kind of interesting to wonder how much of the legend is true, how much of the movie followed the truth versus the legend. I'm sure it's Hollywood does their thing, so. Don said there was a photo on one of these. Must have been this one. Parker Homestead, from a time when the trees were more lush and abundant. So those big ones in the back were definitely there. You see these trees right back here? Are those trees right back there? We are right on the road, so it's pretty easy to pop out, but it's cool to realize this has not been relocated. This is the actual site. These buildings were here. You see it in that photo, the vintage photo. So all this is here, those trees too. So very cool. Yeah, you could see in the photo those trees were there. There in the photo. These trees too appear to be in the photo.
Yeah.
I'm only assuming they're the same trees because...
How about over there?
Yeah, but there were some more and they were a little bit fuller. So they had plenty of places to fish and hunt and farmland to farm, I'm sure. Very cool. Well, before we close this video out, special shout out to Tanya and everyone here at the Circleville RV Park and General Store or Country Store.
Country Store.
The nicest people you ever want to meet.
I feel like we've just been here with friends.
Yeah.
You know, and just staying with friends the past few days. It has just been so wonderful.
Oh yeah, and they've gotten great reviews, and part of it is that they are just so amazingly nice.
It is. It's a clean park. It's an older, but you know what?
Yeah, it's rustic.
It's rustic, and but you know what? It's a great place.
And they give you space.
They do.
They give you some space.
She's very conscious of having, you know, space in between if it's possible.
If that's what you want.
If that's what you want, yeah.
Well,
And but it's just such great people here. Great place just to sit back and really.
Yeah. So if you're just kind of, and there's a lot of places nearby to visit. I mean, you're not that far from Bryce.
Right.
You're close to Panguitch. There's another town up the road the other way. I forgot what he said that one was. There are some amenities here, especially if you're here during the summer.
Yeah. Fishing.
Yeah, a lot of insane fishing. I'm hoping to do that next time.
And then ATVing, a lot of ATV.
Yeah, this one guy was
areas you can go
saying
on.
they had caught 22 fish, but they threw back everything that was under a foot and a half. If it was under 2 pounds, they didn't keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they still came home with like 20 fish. Crazy.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're going to go ahead and end it here. Go ahead and hit that subscription button.
And hit that bell that you know when we post every Sunday
At 2. Thumbs up for good measure. And you are catching up on...
Facebook.
And or Instagram
I
yet?
have not done Instagram
Okay.
yet, but I'm catching up on Facebook.
And I promise the website will be coming along again. But until then, safe travels.
Cilantro.
See you on the road.